a beautiful overcast day here in the Bay Area, heading south, the I-80, this is my ritual, and playing chicken with cars, as we do. Trying to get into the split, give me a minute. Got to get a gap, nice little gap. I don't have to worry they're going to stop in front of me. It's clear. Okay, so yesterday I had a little bit of an adventure. I'll give you some context. I commute on this thing every day. I have done for the past year. But there's a real problem with doing that on a $22,000 sports bike. All the parts for this motorcycle are expensive, and I mean very expensive. Brake discs are several $100s each. Tyres are always going to be expensive because you always want to buy the sticky ones so that you can have fun on the weekends. And as a commuter, it's not really very comfortable as well. And recently I moved in with my girlfriend, and we're talking about sometimes she might want to go into the city with me for work, because she works in the city. And she just said she didn't really want to be on this one because it's just too uncomfortable, which, I mean, I can understand that. It's fucking uncomfortable for me sometimes, even though I'm used to it. So I started fishing around. I was looking for a bike less than $3,000 that had luggage, and as these things do, they ended up with me buying a fucking R1100 RT from 1996. So it's 20 years old. There's going to be some things wrong with it. However, it does have luggage, so I guess my primary goal was met. But yeah, it's a beast. Those things, you know, they're fraught with difficulty if they've not been maintained well. But it's okay. I've got two bikes. You see, I have a reliable Ducati and an unreliable BMW. Hang on a minute. Oh well. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, the idea is I'll get the bike. I've got it for less than $3,000, so it's not quite a steal, but it's less than blue book value. The guy who sold it, he says he's done all the last major service at 46,000, whatever it was, 48,000. So it looks like it's had all the major shit done to it, but maybe there'll be something else wrong with it, and I'll have to work on it, and that's okay. I don't mind wrenching these days. I've got the patience. When I was younger, I didn't have the patience to wrench on anything. I just used to take it to the shop. But I've noticed as you get older, you're a lot more patient than you were when you were in your 20s. And so, you know, taking things apart and putting them back together again is not such a big ask. Being such a big bike, I may not be able to split quite as effectively, so I'm just having a look at the size of the gaps along this traffic. Oh, sorry. Swallowed a little bit of my own saliva there. Choked on it, in fact. Yeah. There's plenty of space for the Beamer, even if it is a bit of a Winnebago. I might have to fit a louder pipe, because they save lives, don't you know? It's very quiet. It kind of it moves along a bit like a spaceship. It's a bit like the Starship Enterprise, which I kind of like. I mean, when you're driving the thing, it's so smooth, and just there's no hesitation. It's got plenty of power. It doesn't have as much power as this thing, but you know, it's got plenty. It's got enough to move its weight along. I thought it was really heavy, but then I looked up the specs, and they say it's around 280 kilo or something like that. It's just a bit heavier than the Sprint GT was, which is remarkable for a bike that is 20 years old. And what's even more remarkable is it has factory fitted ABS on it. Now, the ABS has problems if your battery is a bit flat, so you know you do have to. I'll probably have to replace the battery. Okay, so there's $100 I'm going to have to spend. Who cares? Put a new battery in these things, and you never have to worry about the battery again. You know, unless they've got a short or some other electrical gremlin. So I kind of I don't know. I rode the Sprint GT for a while in Australia until I crashed it. That was an operator pilot error issue. I don't know how I'm going to go. Thanks for moving over so much to the right. Really made that aggressive. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to go. I'm kind of excited and a little bit trepidatious. What's the word? I'm a bit worried. We'll see. That it's not going to be a runner. But you know, I rode it. He let me ride it without putting any money down, which is great. I guess because I showed up on my Ducati in full gear. He's like, "Oh, you can ride." Yeah, there's a lot of things can go wrong with those kinds of bikes. I'll see how it goes. If it ends up being too much of a handful, I might just flip it for a loss and just be done with it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, he's in trouble. Probably in the carpool lane with him by himself. That's what they all do. A lot of people think, oh, I've got a fast track, I can be in the carpool lane. No, it really doesn't work that way. That's a HOV lane. This is a carpool lane. You have to be carpooling to be in this lane. And what's more, most carpool lanes in the state are 2 people or more. But the I-80 is special, it's 3 people or more per vehicle. Unless you're driving a vehicle that cannot seat 3. And that doesn't mean if you're in a fucking cab, you know, in a truck that has 3 seats in it, oh, I can use it if I've only got 2 people in there. You have to have 3 people seated in the vehicle. I actually have to sit in there, and, you know, just saying, can't say, oh, it's only really a 2-seater. Well, no, you've got a middle seat, right? But I see them do it all the fucking time. You get these guys in the rental moving trucks and stuff like that. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me because this is the internet after all. So yeah, back to the Beamer. Yeah, I wanted luggage because I wanted to be able to stick my backpack in there, and if my girlfriend comes with me, I wanted to put her backpack in with it, and you know, be able to carry things comfortably, and also I can put my gear in there, like my wet weather gear. I can even lock my helmet in the bike. So that's cool. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'll pick it up tonight, and I'll post another video tonight as to how it goes, and I might